Hey garden lovers, want to grow bigger, better, and tastier veggies without extra work? The secret: companion planting. Get ready for the best plant combos to make your spring garden thrive. Stay till the end for a surprising duo that repels pests and boosts growth. Let's go! Tomatoes and basil. This duo isn't just great on your plate, they're garden soulmates. If you've ever struggled with pests, weak tomato plants, or bland-tasting fruit, basil is the secret weapon you didn't know you needed. Why do tomatoes and basil work so well together? Companion planting is all about helping plants thrive by pairing them up in a way that benefits both. And trust me, basil and tomatoes are a match made in garden heaven. First, let's talk about pest control. Tomatoes are a magnet for aphids, whiteflies, and those nasty tomato hornworms that can wipe out a plant overnight. But basil? It repels those pests with its strong aroma. It's like an invisible shield for your tomatoes. Then there's flavor. It sounds crazy, but gardeners have noticed that basil planted near tomatoes actually makes the tomatoes taste better. Scientists aren't 100% sure why, but some believe it has to do with how basil influences the soil and air around the plant. Either way, who doesn't want extra flavorful tomatoes? Finally, basil can improve tomato growth by attracting pollinators and beneficial insects. More pollinators mean more flowers, and more flowers mean more tomatoes. It's a win-win. How to plant basil and tomatoes together for maximum benefit. Now that you know why they belong together, let's talk about how to plant them the right way. Spacing is key. Don't plant basil too close to your tomato plants. Tomatoes need airflow to prevent diseases like blight. Aim for 10 to 12 inches apart. Interplanting for full coverage. Instead of one big clump of basil, plant a few smaller basil plants around your tomato patch. This spreads out the pest-repelling benefits. Companion placement matters. Plant basil around the base of tomato plants, but not directly next to the stem. This allows basil's scent to surround the tomatoes while still letting each plant get the sunlight and nutrients they need. Harvest regularly. The best part? You'll have fresh basil all season long. Keep pinching off basil leaves to encourage more growth. And guess what? Pruning basil can even help the tomatoes by increasing airflow around the plants. Bonus pro tips for growing basil and tomatoes together. Mulch around the base of your plants to keep moisture in and weeds out. Water in the morning to prevent fungal issues. Tomatoes and basil both prefer soil that stays moist but not soggy. Try different basil varieties. Sweet basil is a classic, but lemon basil or Thai basil can add unique flavors to your tomatoes and meals. Carrots and onions, the ultimate pest busters. Carrots and onions might seem like an odd pair, but they're actually one of the best pest-fighting combos you can plant in your garden. If you've ever dealt with carrot flies, onion maggots, or underground pests nibbling away at your crops, this dynamic duo is the natural solution you've been looking for. Why do carrots and onions work so well together? Companion planting is all about creating a balance where plants help each other thrive. And carrots and onions? They're like garden bodyguards for each other. Let's start with carrots. Carrots are sweet and fragrant, which makes them a prime target for carrot flies, tiny pests that lay eggs in the soil and ruin your carrot harvest by tunneling through the roots. On the other hand, onions have a strong, pungent smell that carrot flies hate. When you plant onions near carrots, their scent masks the smell of the carrots, confusing the flies and keeping them away. But the benefits don't stop there. Carrots return the favor by helping onions too. Onions are vulnerable to onion maggots, tiny larvae that feast on onion roots. Carrots disrupt the life cycle of these pests, making it harder for them to establish themselves in your garden. So together, carrots and onions form a natural pest defense system, reducing the need for pesticides and keeping your garden healthy. How to plant carrots and onions together for maximum protection. Now that you know why they work so well together, let's get into how to plant them correctly for the best results. Plant in alternating rows. The easiest method is to plant one row of carrots, one row of onions, and repeat. This way, their scents mix together, creating a natural barrier against pests. Spacing matters. Carrots and onions don't compete for the same nutrients, but they do need space to grow properly. Keep about 3 to 4 inches between each plant. Succession planting. To get a continuous harvest, plant new rows of carrots and onions every few weeks. This way, you'll have fresh crops all season long. Companion trio. Want to take it up a notch? Add leeks or chives to the mix. They provide similar pest-fighting benefits and grow well alongside carrots and onions. Extra tips for success. Keep soil loose and well-drained. Carrots need loose soil to grow straight, while onions prefer well-drained soil to prevent rot. Raised beds work great for this combo. Thin your carrots. Once they sprout, thin them out so they have room to grow. Overcrowding leads to small, stunted roots. Water consistently. Carrots need steady moisture to avoid cracking, but onions don't like soggy soil. Use mulch to help retain moisture without overwatering. Corn, beans, and squash. The three sisters. If you want to plant like a pro using nature's perfect teamwork, you've got to try the Three Sisters method, a legendary planting technique that dates back to indigenous farming traditions. Corn, beans, and squash aren't just great crops individually. Together, they create a self-sustaining mini ecosystem where each plant supports, feeds, and protects the others. Why do corn, beans, and squash work so well together? Companion planting is all about choosing plants that help each other thrive, and this trio is one of the best examples of plant teamwork. Here's how it works. Corn acts as a natural trellis. Tall, sturdy corn stalks provide the perfect structure for beans to climb, eliminating the need for stakes or poles. Beans fix nitrogen in the soil. Beans are nitrogen-fixing plants, meaning they pull nitrogen from the air and return it to the soil, acting as a natural fertilizer for the corn and squash. Squash provides ground cover. The large, spreading leaves of squash shade the soil, keeping it cool and moist while blocking weeds from growing. It's a perfect balance where each plant contributes something valuable to the others. How to plant the Three Sisters for the best results. To get the most out of this legendary planting method, follow this simple step-by-step guide. Start with corn. Corn needs to be established first so it can support the beans later. Plant corn seeds in small clusters about 4 to 6 inches apart in a circular mound or rows. Add beans. Once corn sprouts. Once the corn is about 6 inches tall, plant bean seeds around the base of each corn stalk. The beans will start climbing as the corn grows taller. Plant squash around the edges. Finally, plant squash seeds around the perimeter of your corn and beans. Give them space to spread out and cover the ground. Extra tips to make this combo even more successful. Choose the right varieties. Pick pole beans, not bush beans, so they can climb the corn properly. For squash, choose a vining variety like butternut, pumpkin, or zucchini. Water regularly. This trio works together, but they still need consistent moisture, especially in hot weather. Use mulch. Adding a layer of mulch helps retain moisture and prevents weeds from competing with your crops. Watch the beans. If beans get too aggressive, trim back some vines to keep them from pulling down the corn stalks. Why you should try the Three Sisters method. This spring, this isn't just a cool planting technique, it's an ancient time-tested system that improves soil health, reduces the need for fertilizers, and boosts overall yield. You'll grow stronger plants, fewer weeds, and better-tasting veggies, all while making your garden more self-sufficient. Are you excited to try this 3-in-1 garden hack? Drop a comment below and let me know if you're planting the Three Sisters in your garden this year. Nasturtiums and cucumbers, the secret weapon. This last combo, total game changer. If you want your cucumbers to grow healthier, stay pest-free, and produce more, you need to plant them with nasturtiums. This might seem like an unusual pairing, but trust me, it's one of the most effective companion planting tricks out there. Why do nasturtiums and cucumbers work so well together? Nasturtiums and cucumbers have a mutually beneficial relationship, making them the ultimate garden duo. Here's why. Nasturtiums act as a trap crop. This means they attract pests like aphids, cucumber beetles, and whiteflies, drawing them away from your cucumbers. Instead of attacking your cucumber plants, the pests munch on the nasturtiums instead. They bring in pollinators. Cucumbers need bees and other pollinators to produce fruit. Nasturtiums are loaded with bright, nectar-rich flowers, making them a magnet for bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. More pollinators equals more cucumbers. They improve cucumber growth. Nasturtiums create a low-growing ground cover that helps retain soil moisture, prevent weeds, and keep the roots cool. All things cucumbers love. They enhance flavor. Many gardeners swear that planting nasturtiums nearby makes cucumbers taste better and grow faster. While science hasn't confirmed this, it's a great reason to give it a try. How to plant nasturtiums and cucumbers together for maximum benefit. Getting this duo right is super simple, and once you do, your garden will be healthier and more productive. Plant nasturtiums. First, start your nasturtium seeds indoors about 2 to 3 weeks before your last frost date, or direct sow them at the same time you plant your cucumber seeds. Choose the right placement. Nasturtiums should be planted around the edges of your cucumber bed, about 8 to 12 inches away from your cucumber vines. This way they can spread out and create a protective barrier. Let them sprawl. Nasturtiums are low maintenance, but they love to spread out. You can let them grow as ground cover or even train them to climb if space is tight. Keep the soil moist. Cucumbers need consistent watering to avoid bitter fruit, and nasturtiums help with that by keeping the soil cool and shaded. Deadhead flowers for more blooms. To keep nasturtiums flowering all season, pinch off spent blooms. This keeps them looking great and continuously attracting pollinators. Bonus perks of nasturtiums in your garden. They're edible. Both the leaves and flowers are peppery and delicious, perfect for salads, sandwiches, or garnishes. They improve soil health by preventing erosion and adding organic matter as they break down. They grow fast and require zero fertilizer. In fact, they thrive in poor soil. There you have it. 4 must-try companion planting combos for your spring garden. Which one are you excited to try first? Drop a comment below. And if you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more easy gardening hacks. See you next time.